Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to unlock the superpowers hidden inside JavaScript objects. We'll get the hang of three super simple methods, keys, values, and entries that'll finally let you treat your objects with the same power and flexibility you're used to with arrays. So here's what we're going to cover. We'll kick things off with a problem we've all faced, introduce the solution, dig into why the syntax is the way it is, reveal a really powerful transformation pattern, and then wrap it all up with some quick practical examples. All right, let's dive right in. We're going to start with a challenge that I guarantee every single JavaScript developer has run into at some point. I mean, right? You look at an array and you've got all these amazing chainable methods like .map, .filter, and .reduce. Then you glance over at a plain old object and it's kind of just sitting there, feeling a little left out. Look, objects are fundamental. They're the bedrock of JavaScript, for sure. But when you actually need to loop over them or transform their data, that clean, easy-to-use structure that arrays have just isn't there. So how do we bridge that gap? Well, that's exactly the problem we're going to solve today. The good news is JavaScript has a really elegant built-in solution for this. So let's meet the three methods on the object constructor that are honestly going to change how you work with objects forever. First up, we have object.keys. It's super simple. You give it your object and it hands you back a brand new clean array containing only its keys. So for this user object here, you can see object.keys gives us exactly what we'd expect, an array with the strings name and age. That's it, simple and direct. All right, next up, and you probably guessed it, is object values. This one does the exact opposite. It ignores the keys completely and just gives you a new array with only the values from the object. So using that same user object, we get an array containing John and the number 30. This is awesome for when you just need the data itself and you couldn't care less about the property names. And finally, we have the real powerhouse of the group, object.entries. This one, you guys, is the real game changer. It gives you the best of both worlds. You get an array back, but each item in that array is another little array holding the key value pair together. Yeah, just look at that structure for a second. It's an array of arrays. The first item is name John. The second is age 30. And trust me, this specific format, this is the key to unlocking some serious power, as we're about to see. Okay, so you might be thinking, why is the syntax like this? Why object.keys user and not just user.keys, like we do with maps? And that's a fantastic question because there's a really smart reason for it. So if you look at this table, you'll see two major differences. With a map, you call the method on the map instance itself, and it gives you back an iterable, which is cool, but it's not a full-blown array. But with object.keys, it's called on the global object itself, and bam, you get a real honest-to-goodness array back with all the methods you know and love. So why does this matter? Well, it boils down to two things. First off, it's about flexibility. Imagine your object already has its own property called keys. If you tried to call object.keys, it would cause a collision. This way, there's no conflict. And second, it's a bit of a history thing. These methods were designed to give you a real array from the get-go, which, let's be honest, is usually what you want anyway. Alright, this is where it all comes together. This is the real aha moment. We're about to see how we can combine these methods to apply all those powerful array methods directly to our object's data. Okay, you're going to want to remember this. It's a simple three-step pattern. First, you use object.entries to turn your object into that array of key value pairs. Second, you can now use any array method you want, .map, .filter, you name it, to transform that array. And third, you take that new transformed array and feed it into object from entries to turn it back into an object. It's that simple. Let's walk through a real example. So say we've got this prices object. Our goal is simple. Create a new object where every single price is doubled. Okay, step one, we run object.entries on our prices object. And just like we saw, it turns it into this nice clean array of key value pairs that we can actually work with. Step two, the transformation. We can change .map right onto the end of that. We're saying for each little key value array, give us back a new little array. We'll keep the key the same, but we'll take the value and multiply it by 2. And look at the result, a brand new array with our updated values. And now for the magic. Step 3. We take that whole expression and wrap it in object.fromEntries. This method is the perfect partner to entries. It takes our array of pairs and just perfectly puts it back together into a new object. And there you have it. Our prices are doubled. How cool and clean is that? All right, to really make this stick, let's run through a couple of quick practical examples you're going to see all the time. First task, let's say you need to sum up all the salaries in an object. In this case, we don't really care about who's getting paid, right? We just want the numbers. So object.values is perfect. We grab an array of just the values, and then we can use the classic reduce method to add them all up. I mean, look how clean that is. One single readable line of code. Okay, task 2, how many properties are in an object? This one's even easier. All we need to do is count the keys. So we use object.keys to get an array of them, and since every array has a .length property, well, we just ask for the length of that array. Done. So for our user object, the result is, of course, it's 2. Object.keys gives us name, age, and the length of that array is 2. Super simple, super effective. Okay, let's tie this all together. The big takeaway here is that keys, values, and entries are your bridge from the object world to the array world. Remember that object.keys object syntax? It's designed that way to prevent headaches. And most importantly, burn that transformation pattern into your brain. Entries to get an array, map or filter to change it, and from entries to put it back together. This is how you write clean modern JavaScript. So I'll leave you with a question. Now that you have this pattern, this superpower to manipulate objects, think about the code you're working on right now. What's the first object you're going to transform? Go try it out. Thanks for joining me.